Let's go, 49er faithful. Here we are after beating the Seattle Seahawks, trouncing them in the second half, absolutely blowing them out. I will say at the beginning of this one, I was tense. I was puckered up through the first half. Man, I'm with you, CJ Gray. CJ Gray coming in to say that first half had me nervous, though. Yes, absolutely. My nerves were shot in that first half. It was far closer than I expected it to be. And then the 49ers their relentless aggression against teams just breaks them in the second half. Absolutely destroys teams once they continue on their path. 49ers 25-7 in the second half. And that 7 points was on a garbage time touchdown. Should have been a second half shutout. I was yelling like a freaking maniac in my house. I'm sure all of my neighbors in this neighborhood think that I'm an absolute lunatic for losing it here. I lost my voice a little bit. I'm glad I wasn't at the game. My voice would be shot at this moment. I want to celebrate with all of you fans. Do me that favor. When you hit me in the chat today, because I know the chat is going to get popping, hit me with the @Rob. I want to hear your favorite plays of the game. I want to hear your favorite players of the game. This one fired me up. Brock Purdy absolutely showing he belongs in the playoffs. Shaky first half. Didn't phase him. Came back in, over 330 yards, 4 total touchdowns. Could have had the 5th to Brandon Ayuk right at the end of the game. Unbelievable. Christian McCaffrey, just a machine, an absolute machine. I don't even know how many all-purpose yards he ended up with. Insane. Debo, you don't piss that man off. You don't go ahead and poke the beehive. When you have Debo Samuel in playoff mode, you don't twist his ankle. You don't play one of those little weak moves like that. Try and get in Debo's head. No, Debo gets angry. Debo comes back. Debo goes for 74 yards. When he turned on the Jets on that play, unbelievable. And the defense, man, looked like they might be getting cooked today. Looked like they didn't have it, right? Giving up 17 in the first half to Seattle. Bonehead play by Jimmy Ward to end the first half. But no, when we needed it in the second half, the pass rush came home. I was yelling at my television at an unbelievable level right before that play. You have to earn your position as the strength of the number one defense in the league. And the defensive line did just that. I want to get into the chats because I'm going to fall way behind. I appreciate everybody that was here early. Bay Marin coming in. Please start next game as if it's the third quarter already. I mean, them chickens are frauds and yikes too, but I'd save some cardiologist money. I thought I was going to have a heart attack in this one. Like I said, absolutely puckered up. I am with CJ Gray saying I was upset in the first half. Raphael 5629er Sneakerhead here on the channel says CJ Gray, everybody was. I know on the thread with my family, things were tight. Things were tight early. Yeah, Bay Marin calling out. Not only did he have all the all-purpose yards, CMC comes up with the onside kick. Just a baller through and through. Leo, Sneakerhead here on the channel coming in. Let's go. BK from the Bay. How about those Niners? I mean, honestly, who has it better than us? Leo coming in to say, though, nobody's getting that mug. Second half domination, and it feels so good. Yeah, nobody had the final score being 41-23. What an absurd final score it was, but what a second half to watch. Absolutely thrilled with the game, with the outcome. CJ Gray, I agree with this. Sneakerhead here on the channel. That was Seattle's absolute best shot, and we still whooped them. They came out. I said it on the pregame. I honestly thought Pete Carroll was going to have this team ready to compete, that this was going to be a physical matchup, and it sure as shit was. They came out and punched us in the mouth. And like Mike Tyson says, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Turns out we had a plan after that as well. The second half adjustments by D'Amico Ryans and Kyle Shanahan were phenomenal. Again, outscoring Seattle 25-7 in the second half. No doubt in my mind, had we left the starters in on defense, we would have completed that second half shutout. Shout out to Sean951Niners, who couldn't make it on the program earlier. Check this out. Was in an Uber. Hope you don't mind me sharing this, Sean. Was in an Uber and spun out on the freeway. He is okay. Everything's okay. Otherwise, I wouldn't share the details. But made it home safe. Glad to hear it, Sean. Absolutely. He correctly predicted how violently the 49ers were going to come back in the second half and shut this thing down. Beast Mode Gaming coming in to celebrate, saying, hey, man, that last pass to Ayuk, though, that was nice. BA dropped it. He for sure did. It was in his hands, and he dropped it. Spy Nick Danger, go Niners. Terror Dome with the line. Just Brock the mic. Brock the mic right there. Boom. He just comes in and lights it on fire. Honestly, think about the adversity he went through in the first half. Think about the look on his face. It looked a little bit down. It looked a little bit dejected. I'm going to give credit to Kyle Shanahan, Brian Griese for whatever they said at halftime or whatever Brock Purdy said to himself, because he came out focused. He was not deterred by the fact that he had some struggles in the first half, and that is critical to the 49ers absolutely obliterating Seattle in that second half. Absolutely Brockzilla. Beast Mode Gaming to Rob. Again, if you want to hit me with those comments, please do hit me with the @Rob. I want to hear your favorite plays of the game. I want to hear who is the biggest player of the game, in your opinion. I want to get into your comments. Beast Mode Gaming. Rob, I was nervous because I know second half we will destroy. I was never nervous because I know second half will destroy any teams. You're a better man than I, a better person than I should say. Raphael 5629ers, Rob, CMC 136 all-purpose yards. CMC is a beast. 119 rushing yards. My man had 17 receiving yards and an onside kick recovery. Just to add to the day. Just to add to his day. Chris Renshaw coming in. It is our time. Wave where Brock setting records like he always had. The real deal. Real deal Purdy. Real deal Purdy. All right, Beast Mode Gaming coming in. Rob Schuh. I'm just wondering if Big Cock Brock goes 13-0 with his number and all staff. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. I mean, he's headed for it. He's headed for that 14-0, I would hope. Tommy Gregory, go SF Faithful. I wouldn't have let them have the last TD. I wouldn't have let them have it either. And had the actual starting defense been in there, you know they wouldn't have allowed that either. You know they wouldn't have allowed it. Man. Jose coming in, Niners all day. Nick Garfoot over there in the UK. It is late. Nick, what time is it? Sneakerhead here on the channel. He says slow start, but it's how you finish that counts. Great win. The W is all I care about. All I care about is walking out of there with that freaking W. CJ Gray, absolutely. Debo on that 74-yarder. That's my bike, punk. That's my bike, punk. He just has that attitude. Schnozzle, Shabizzle coming into the house. Rob, that long Debo touchdown, he was pissed he wasn't in the game. He was upset. And you don't make Debo upset. You don't do that. Here we go. Beast Mode Gaming talking about Jimmy Ward. I'm glad this play happened at the end of the second half in this game. I think it's a wake-up call for smart play in the playoffs from here on out. Let's be honest. If we had been going against a more ferocious opponent, it's possible we'd have been down more in this game, maybe have gotten away from our game plan. This matchup against Seattle was perfect in my book. Beast Mode Gaming saying Rob Schuh. I think the bonehead play by Ward is to send them a message not to slide on the number 1 D in the league. It was a hit. I mean, those kind of hits do take their toll on opposing players, and it was boneheaded for sure. Carlos coming in. Go Niners. Nick from the Mo. Ayuk owes Brock for missing that catch just to get Brock that 4th touchdown pass, the 5th total touchdown. I agree. Schnozzle Shabizzle. Blood pressure was not static at that moment. Peter Lee coming in. He says, Rob, whenever sea chickens are up, Carroll chooses gum. Did you see the wad of gum that man had in his mouth? It's absurd. Just stop it, Pete Carroll. It's like a cow with his cud. It is not acceptable for television. He says, but when they're down, sea chickens, he swallows his gum. Man, that's rough. That's rough, Pete. I'm glad, though. I don't like to see it. Javon coming in. Niners staying on fire. Jose coming in. Let's go, Niners. Andre Moore, sneakerhead here on the channel. Oh, yeah. Peter Lee says, Tariq Woolen was dirty with that ankle twisting of Debo. Ref was BS for no call. There were a few no calls. The should have been a face mask on Christian McCaffrey. You could hear the boos of the fans there at Levi Stadium. The late hit out of bounds on Brock Purdy, not atrocious. And I'm not saying that we have to have these calls, but missed calls nonetheless. And then, yes, on Debo, you see how pissed Kyle Shanahan was running out onto the field saying, hey, you got to call that bullshit. Because if you don't, this game spirals downhill. It's those kind of plays that then turn into fights on the field. I knew there'd be dust-ups in this one, and there sure as shit were. Elvis, coming in from Australia. Elvis, good to see you, my friend. He says, Rob, let's go, Niners. Happy for Lenore and Debo. What a fucking run. Lenore to get that pick, in my mind, is absolutely huge, Elvis. It instills confidence going forward. He's going to get picked on in these playoffs. He's going to come up against teams with all-star quarterbacks better than Geno Smith, who are going to take advantage more so than they did with matchups with DK Metcalf. I feel like building his confidence and getting him to a place where he's at the top of his game is really, really important for this defense going forward. That could be our Achilles heel, but I feel like each individual play he can make, just that much better. Thomas Luttrell coming in, Rob Schuh, in my Ric Flair voice. Woo! I can't do a Ric Flair. That was terrible. My voice gave out, and so I didn't get the full woo, but that was terrible. I apologize for it. He says, not sold on the quarterback, though. Shanahan had to revert to the Jimmy playbook to win. Thomas, what are you watching here? I'm just going to the next comment here. Bullpup 33, sneakerhead here on the channel says, Big Cock Brock. Big Cock Brock. I'm Thomas, I am sold on Brock. Did he have a rough first half? Yes. Did he respond to that? Absolutely. The greatest 49 sneakerhead here on the channel says, Rob Purdy balled out 300 plus yards, 330 plus yards, 3 touchdowns, 4 if you count the rushing touchdowns. First 300-yard game. I don't see how he isn't the man going into next year. Let's fucking go, Niners. Faithful to the Bay. Going into it, it'll be an open competition, and they'll say all the right things. But yes, as of this moment, with this playoff win, with the 7 in a row now for Brock Purdy, you're absolutely looking at him as the favorite going in. What I love is let's just have ourselves a deep-ass quarterback room. I love it. Alan Elizer was here in the pregame. He's here in the postgame. He says, Rob Schuh, I told you about Lenore. He played a great game. He stepped up, Alan. I appreciate you saying that postgame. I appreciate you being here. Randall Riley says, Bullpup's my favorite name. William Bennett in the stream, sneakerhead here on the channel. You know him. You love him. Says Rob Schuh. In words of Warner, we hate those motherfuckers. Pretty good. Pretty good. Indeed. I apologize for the MFers, but I'm excited. William's excited, and I have to throw it in there. Last wish. Yeah, let me just say this, because I think this is where he's going with this. Yes, last wish was at the 2013 playoff game. That was January 2014. I was there with you. It says where we lost to the Seahawks. This victory a decade later feels so good. Yes, it absolutely does. This is enormous. Feels phenomenal. Sending the Seattle Seahawks packing. Jose says, are you going to a playoff game? Yes. My plan is to go to next week. I saved some money this week, not going to see Seattle. Couldn't get excited about the matchup because it felt like if we won, we were going to be expected to win. And if we lost, it was going to be devastating. When I compared that with the cost of going down there and knowing that once we get rolling, I am going to need to be there at the championship game. I am going to need to be there at the Super Bowl. I started to add up how much those tickets are. Yikes. It is not fun to think about that aspect of it, but I don't care. I will be there. Kevin coming in from Glasgow. Rob, not even the first half refs could overcome the Niners' second half performance. Their first touchdown was a holding on Metcalf, made up second half, having to beat both the Hawks and the refs. Second half was fire. Kevin, the second half had me absolutely thrilled. I'm with Joey Nichols on this. Bad first half, rough first half by Brock. Amazing second half. David W. Debo is back. Absolutely back. Jason wants more touches for George Kittle. Luke Walsh points out, hey, when we needed that play and Charlie Omenihu gets into the backfield, tips that ball out of Geno Smith's hand, and Nick Bosa dives on it. Huge play. That was when you saw Eric Crocker on Twitter playing the music, right? Maybe that was one play later. Playing the music from New Orleans that, hey, it's the funeral music. The funeral march has begun. I agree, Bullpup 33 with this analogy. Rob, this team is like an anaconda, suffocating teams. I'm telling you, we break teams in the second half, literally break them, so much so that teams went 0-15 the following week. And Seattle doesn't even get a chance to go 0 because they lost and they're going home. Send them packing. Bye, Pete Carroll. Bye, Metcalf. Oh, it feels good to celebrate. Elvis in the building. Let's go, Niners. All right, we got a super chat. We've got super chats. Dabuda in the house with the first super chat says, what did I tell you about Lenore, Rob? Let's fucking go. Hey, to you for the prediction. We had a couple of people predicting a good game from Diamador Lenore, and he balled out. Answered the bell. Eric Chavez, let's fucking go. Niner gang in the house. Charlie Omenihu making plays. Rigger 49er coming in with the next super chat says, I was hesitant to do it, but Purdy earned my respect today. He played like trash in the first half, but stepped it up when it counted. Bang, bang, Niner gang. I don't know if I could say he played like trash. He struggled a little bit. He was hovering around 50%. A couple of the throws were off. Looked as though on a couple of plays, receivers may have turned one way where he expected another. And he missed a wide open Deebo Samuel, opting for the shot downfield instead. But I will say, when you consider his complete game, I'm saying phenomenal game. Phenomenal game. Hit me with your favorite plays of the game, player of the game. If you hear anything from the post-game presser, drop it in there. E. Kim was on the pregame presser saying, got the win, things to clean up for next week. No doubt, some things to clean up. I will say this. I think if we were going against a higher caliber opponent than Seattle, where, yes, they were fired up. Yes, Pete Carroll did an amazing job. I mean, I talk trash on Pete Carroll and his gum-chewing bullshit, but he's a phenomenal coach. I have to give him that nod. The way he gets his team up to play us at a bare minimum, the way in which he propelled this team to the playoffs, unreal. When you look at the dearth of talent that is there, yes, they had some players play above their weight class. Yes, they had rookies stepping up. And Pete Carroll does a good job getting them fired up. He didn't have any big personalities to compete with. He was the big personality. He certainly got them ready to play today. Had it been anyone else, a bigger opponent in this one, I think it could have been trouble. Could have been trouble. Raphael 5629ers with the @Rob. When you have the comments, hit me with the @Rob so I know you're talking to me. He says Diamador Lenore was due for an interception. He got his, and it was phenomenal. Niners Faithful 5 says, Rob, let's fucking go, 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 go. Blue Soldier keeping it PG, and I love it. Let's fudging go. If only Brandon Ayuk caught that pass from Purdy, could have had 4 touchdown passes. 4 touchdown passes. Josh Cook, Sneakerhead here on the channel, was on the live stream earlier. Says, Rob Schuh, the first half had me kind of nervous, but Brock Purdy settled down. Huge going forward because I do not think the nerves will hit again. We are a second half team, it seems. We are a second half team, no doubt, Josh. We just break fools. Alex says, watch your mouth, man. I agree. I am cussing like a sailor. I apologize if you're offended by that language, and I can't help it. I cannot help it. I'm too excited. This game was too big. We are advancing to the divisional round of the playoffs. We're taking on the Vikings or the Bucks or the Cowboys, and I don't give a shit which of the 3 it is. Dabu Da coming back in says, what did I tell you about Lenore? Let's fucking go. Dabu Da. All right, I had gotten to that one, trying to get to, Mark Hicks coming in. Uncle Rob, Heidi and Emmy here saying, Niner gang looking pretty. Mark, please apologize to my goddaughters for the amount of cursing that they are hearing right now. Earmuffs, Emmy and Heidi, earmuffs. Niner Faithful 5 says, Rob, Purdy is my quarterback 1. I don't care anymore. Purdy is magic at this point. I am absolutely riding with Purdy and the hot hand, and so is Kyle Shanahan. There is no doubt that Purdy is the man going forward. Jimmy comes back. He's healthy. Great. You've got quarterback depth. Because I tell you what, Brock Purdy will do some foolish things like a rookie, like roll out, plant his feet. At the end of a game, take a shot that he shouldn't have taken. I was like, Purdy, you're giving me a heart attack by doing that. We are up. I know that you're getting the ball to Brandon Ayuk. He didn't even catch it, and you took a huge shot. Please don't do that again. My hope is Kittle. Kittle walked up behind him, said a little something in his ear. My hope is Kittle said, hey, bro, I appreciate the competition and protect yourself, please. Elvis coming back in says, Rob, did you see the Sea Chicken smiling and dancing before halftime? And then the next minute, hands covering faces, heads down, and no more dancing, laughing my fucking ass off. Yeah, we kind of quieted down DK Metcalf, kind of quieted down the Seattle Seahawks. They were feeling it in the first half. And mad respect to the Seahawks, man. They came out and played for a half and then got demolished. Raphael 562 Niners sneakerhead here on the channel. Rob, who do you want the 49ers to face next week? I honestly don't have a preference between any of them. Minnesota feels like a very good matchup for the 49ers. I would love to play the Cowboys or the Bucks because both feel like you're going to take down Tom Brady. You're going to take out the Cowboys. Next to the Seahawks, who are a more recent vitriol for me, the Cowboys are absolutely the team that I despise the most. I try not to use the term hate, but man, I do hate the Seahawks and their fans. They are brutal. The Cowboys I used to hate, no doubt about it. Schmerica G says, Rob Schuh, there was someone in the chat a while back that said that the Niners were going to win out the regular season. I'll admit I didn't believe it, but I'm psyched that I was wrong. Randon McMahon, co-host of Between Two Beards, he called the 49ers winning out the season with like 7 or 8 games to go. And sure enough, we MFing did. Ryan Starr with the super chat. The level of disrespect from all Hawks fans, we're not going to stand for it, Ryan. We're not going to stand for it. When I was there for the 2013 NFC Championship in January 2014, peanuts tossed in the back of my head. Leaving that game, disrespect right in my face. I'm the type that I don't disrespect fans. When I'm there at Levi's, I treat them with like they're our guests, unless they're talking trash. And then, you know, you talk a little trash back. But I don't instigate it. Man, those Seattle fans are brutal, especially living here in the Pacific Northwest. I will get back to some of your comments. Again, hit me with the @Rob. We're going up until the next game, up until the 5:15 deadline. But we have some super chats that we have to get to. Troy coming in, though. Got to say what's up to Troy. Rob, 11 straight. On to the next victim. Yes, we are. Got to get to these super chats. Rigger 49er coming back in. We faced a division opponent. So we played the hardest game we're going to have to until the Super Bowl. We're going to win it all. We will get 6 this year. Let's fucking go. Rigger 49er is pumped. I'm with it. I do believe going into Philadelphia, if that is the road through the NFC Championship, is going to be a difficult road. Potentially a closer game than what we had here against Seattle. They've got some weapons that will match up against the 49ers. Kevin coming in with the super chat from Glasgow. That Ayuk block to let Debo visibly change a gear and warp speed it into the end zone. Unbelievable. Can you see the NFL doing away with the Mr. Irrelevant title soon? I think they love it. I think they absolutely love having that title on Brock Purdy, to watch him absolutely destroy it and have that title to go back to over and over and over again. Do me that favor and smash the like button if you are watching this post-game stream. I'm fired up, and I want more people to sense that fire. All right, we're going back in time. Oh, no, we got another super chat. But then we're going back in time to get some of these comments. Leo R. Sneakerhead here on the channel coming in with the super chat. Fantastic second half adjustments this season. Says a lot about how well this team is coached. If Christian McCaffrey stays healthy, it's championship. Go Niners. Love to the faithful. Leo, absolutely appreciate all the love. This team is good enough to win it all. Absolutely good enough to win it all. G-Bone Patron wants to know, hey, did anybody win the mug? I don't think so. If you had that score, you got to call it out to me. But that's such a random score. I cannot fathom someone having a 41-23 score. If someone did, They are the proud owners of a new mug. The Stivers Niners 209 show says, Purdy, that like button, Rob. Yes. Yes. Bobby Mira says, hey, man, it's okay, Rob. Keep the cuss words coming. Let's celebrate for a bit. Yes, that is what we are here doing. We are celebrating the Niners' victory. We're celebrating the Niners packing the Seahawks bags for them and sending them home in the second half. It was an absolutely phenomenal freaking showing. I want to go into a few of the stats here just to see. Charlie Omenihu with the forced fumble, 2 sacks, unbelievable game for him. My man is going to get paid. Eric Armstead's sack was an impressive one. Hey, the simple fact that we only allowed 1 sack. I will say Purdy, he wasn't as great in sliding around. There were many instances where he could have slid up in the pocket, and it felt like he slid back instead and allowed the defense to pressure him, had to throw it away. A couple of sketchy throwaway passes as well. I believe he's got room to improve there. Oregon Life calling it. Purdy is our franchise quarterback, period. Period. That is it. Absolutely it. All right, getting back into the comment. Jay Cruz, 49er, has entered the chat. Says, Rob, when Abram tried to twist Debo's ankle, that was when the flip switched. That was absolutely a turning point because it turned on Debo Samuel. He flipped that switch in his head. He said, no, you don't do that to me. I run over people. I truck fools. And once Debo gets that mentality, it becomes contagious. I also thought Elijah Mitchell was really critical in this one. He has been running so hard since he came back. Phenomenal. Oregon Life says, love your vibe, Rob. Let's fucking go, Niners. Babu coming in. Hell yeah, Niners. Deborah Maxwell in the chat. Go, Niners. The caretaker pointing out, it was not I that won the mug. Not me. I said 20-13. Hey, I had him 23-10. So we were real close in what we were saying. And you're admitting that you were wrong. I admit I was completely wrong in this one. Believing that our defense would be able to contain Geno Smith, that we would stop the run and then be able to get after Geno Smith with the pass rush. It took us a while to figure this one out. Pete Carroll came out with a very solid game plan. Shane Waldron, the offensive coordinator for the Seahawks, kudos to him, man. Good game plan. They came out punching, swinging right away. Nikki D says, every draft pick matters. Teams, take notes. Hard to believe 31 teams passed on Purdy multiple times, and so did the Niners, but kudos to them for drafting him and not letting him reach undrafted free agency. Huge addition for the San Francisco 49ers to have picked Brock Purdy. That is the reason we are doing what we are doing. Peter Lee, Rob, Niners officially the king of the NFC West. 7 wins. We swept the entire NFC West 7-0. I didn't even think of that, Peter. That is huge. Huge. 7-0 in the division. It feels so sweet. So sweet. Deadpool coming in. Keep an eye on KC. There are 2 teams that I look at as problems for the 49ers. The Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. The good news is we don't face either one unless we get to the Super Bowl. CJ Gray saying, hey, peace, you chickens. Yes, they're headed home. It's a short flight, but it's a long flight, if you know what I mean. Lapaka Lolo asking the question, what team can possibly beat the Philadelphia Eagles next week? Cowboys, Bucks, or Giants? Well, so it's intriguing, right? If Minnesota wins, we're automatically playing Minnesota, right? So if Minnesota wins, the Giants are out. It'd be either the Cowboys or the Bucks. If Minnesota loses, that means the Giants are guaranteed to go play Philly. I don't know. The division matchup makes it interesting with the Giants against Philly. I would believe that you need a higher caliber team and the division matchup. So if I'm looking at one of these teams that I think is the best possibility to beat the Eagles, and this may surprise some people given the way they've played the last couple of weeks, but the Dallas Cowboys, I believe that they have the requisite weapons to be able to get the job done against Philly. Whether they will or not seems doubtful in my mind, if I'm honest. I think we're going through Philly. I think I'm going to get a chance to check off MetLife Stadium. It is. No, it's Lincoln Field, right? Lincoln. Yeah. I am going to get that chance. Elvis coming back in the building. Rob, come on, faithful. Smash that like button. We got over 150 viewers. I love it. Elvis doing the good deed. I appreciate that. Absolutely appreciate it. Caretaker, serve him up, Rob. Serve him up. Tommy Gregory. Rob, we all have to be fired up at this point. We're going to win a ship with a rookie. We have tools and the talent that makes us dangerous. It does. It does make us dangerous. Raphael 562 Niners. Rob, Niners are in an 11-game win streak. Let's keep it going. Yes. Let us keep it going for 3 more. Kurt, I'm with you here. Kurt Papadakis, sneakerhead here on the channel. Rob, nervous to start, but Purdy continues to surprise Kurt Warner, Brady, Mahomes. Yeah, he's in the same conversation. You saw the stat that they put up prior to the start of the game. First 6 games, number of touchdowns as compared to Steve Young, Joe Montana. It's crazy what he's doing. Absolutely crazy. Mod coming in saying, let's go Niners from a Niner fan in Singapore. We love the international fan community. Keep it coming. Hit that like button so more international fans can see the content. Mr. Fang, Rob, hey, brother. I just came in to celebrate with you. You know my skepticism, but we have a real shot at a Super Bowl. And what a story it'll be if Purdy wins. Huge storyline. Never been done before. Never. Never. The caretaker, Rob. The Debo haters got some crow to eat. Niner guy. Hey, this is a fair one. Great to see you as well, Niner guy. Saying much respect for the Hawks getting this far. Let's go Niners. Absolutely. Peter Lee. Rob, the weather definitely was in our favor, though. Our full 4-hour window. Yes. When we started to run up the score, got up by 14, I was thinking, hey, it's good that we got these points in because I thought that weather might roll in late in this one. It didn't, not until way late, and it turned out that the Niners were able to get that offense cooking. Kim Adams in the building. Kim, good to see you. How's the GTO? Says, fantastic game. Just wondering if Trey and Jimmy didn't get hurt, how long, or would they even have found out how good Purdy was? It takes luck in life. Let's just be honest about that. Whether you're talking about someone's career path, winning the lottery, or playing in the NFL, things have to go your way. You could be the most talented, physically gifted individual. Your first play of the NFL, you might get a blown out knee that never heals correctly, and that's the end of your career. And then you have players who get buried on depth charts, much like what you're asking here. I think that Kyle Shanahan had enough of a fondness that we would have seen that continue to grow. But it would have taken years, I would guess. Years, because you gave up so much for Trey Lance that you are absolutely going to find out what you have. It's why there will still be a quarterback competition going into the preseason next year. Absolutely will be a quarterback competition. It's one that Brock Purdy will be light years ahead in, given what's transpiring now. But I still do believe it'll be an open competition. Starco fan 212, Rob, who do you want us to face in the next round? I'll be honest, I'll take any of the 3. I think I'd rather Bucks or Cowboys. Just more exciting in my mind. And I plan on going to the game. Bobby Mira, Hawks finished 9-9 overall. Crazy. We have 3 of those 9 losses by a combined jillion points. Oh, I absolutely love the jillion points reference. CJ Gray. Rob, if we end up in Philly, I will be there. CJ, if that's the case, man, I'm taking you out to dinner, man. We're going to get together, have ourselves a nice freaking meal. Any Niner fans that are in in Philly for the game, be welcome to join as well. But that would be phenomenal. Absolutely. Leo R coming in, and Jimmy G would have taken at least 3 consequential sacks. A lot of those where Brock was able to spin out. I thought to myself, Jimmy would not have gotten away. I don't always need to compare quarterbacks, but it did flash through my mind as well. All right, we've got super chats to get to. Beast Mode Gaming coming in. My favorite play is that we finish the game healthy. Let's freaking go. Please tell me that the injury report was completely clean in the post-game presser. Please tell me that. Look at this, though. Yes. Rob, did the offense carry the defense today? They kind of did. They kept us in this game, and then they blew it out in the second half. Now, it was complimentary football, no doubt about it. And yeah, the offense carried their weight. Lapaka Lolo just coming in to show some kindness. Much appreciated. Hope you are enjoying yourself. Lapaka Lolo. Buck coming in. Buck Bubik. Rob, although scary and unnecessary, that scramble throw to Ayuk in the end zone was awesome to see. It was a phenomenal throw. Let's be honest that Ayuk should have caught that one. Should have caught that one. Kevin from Glasgow coming in. Loving how fired up the chat room is. Great comments and with the best host on YouTube. Love to you all. What a great forum from Scotland to Singapore to Australia. You name it. You absolutely name it, man. We are crushing it in this post game. We are loving it. We are having a good time. We are celebrating because that's what you do when your team is headed on to the divisional round of the playoffs. Paulo coming in. Paulo, appreciate it. Says, I love the energy, brother. Go Niners. Thank you. It is genuine. I am hyped right now. I lost my shit during the game. You can tell I lost my voice a little bit during the game. My neighbors must think that I am a lunatic. And CJ Gray points out the Niners set a record for the season, 500 yards on offense. 500 yards on offense. Are you kidding me? San Francisco 49ers. Unbelievable. Number one defense. First game in the playoff. What do? We drop 500 yards on offense. This is the kind of team that you want to have when you're rooting for that. Hey, man, that chance at a ship. A lot of things still have to go right for this team. A lot of things still have to go right. But when you look at the core, when you look at the way they're playing, when you look at the second half adjustments this coaching staff has been making, it's phenomenal in my book. And you're looking at a team that is absolutely poised to be that team. The Stivers Niners 209 show. Rob, Walk Disney Company make a Brock Purdy story? Can the Disney Company make a Brock Purdy story if he won the Super Bowl? Make a movie about it for a rookie, the last guy in the draft, third string quarterback? Yes or no? It's the stuff of movies. Yes, Stivers Niners 209 show. It is the stuff of movies. This is what you write a screenplay about. And here we are watching it. Absolutely watching it in real time. You got to appreciate what it is you're holding in your hand right now. The vision that we're all casting of this team marching forward. The reality of sending the Seahawks home today. The importance of what's going on. The vibe of this team when I see them on the field. I love this team. Love this team. Love the personalities. Love the way they play together. Love the way they play for one another. Love the way they're selfless. Jimmy Ward taking on the nickel position. Most tenured freaking guy on the defense takes another role in the last year of his contract. Unbelievable. Alan Elizer, sneakerhead, coming in. Says, I love the Unleashed Rob. Let's fucking go. Debo and Kittle that like button. Let's do it. We got Leo R checking in from Idaho. We are covering the states, man. We are all over the U.S., no doubt. We got folks back east. We got folks in the middle. We got folks out west. And we got folks up here with me in the Pacific Northwest. Tuxedo says, all right, so far, no upset yet. Who do you think will get upset this week? I'm rooting for it to be freaking I was just about to say Philly. I don't know why I would have said that. They don't play till next week. I think I am rooting for the Giants, though. I think I would like to see the Giants take out Minnesota. I know the matchup of Minnesota against the Niners feels good to a lot of people. Kirk Cousins underneath the lights usually doesn't perform well. I think they have some talent on that team. And I'll be honest, after watching DK Metcalf today, I don't necessarily want to face Justin Jefferson next week. I do believe that regardless of Mooney having a rough day today, Mooney Ward against DK didn't go his way. Couple of big plays for DK. I still have faith he will absolutely bounce back. So I don't have any fear about any of the teams. And as far as rooting for upsets, I think I am pulling for the Giants. Raphael 5629ers. Rob, quarterbacks with 300 plus yards, 0 interceptions, number 8, number 16, and now number 13. Just joining the ranks of incredible quarterbacks in 49ers freaking history. It is unbelievable. I agree with Leo. That's a phenomenal stat. Great pull by Raphael 562. Man, love it. Rick Diaz, celebrations don't stop. The new game has started. I can't bring myself to walk away from this. CJ Gray says, whoa, whoa, whoa. So you got to win the Super Bowl to make such proclamations. I don't know if you were talking to me or someone else in the chat. I may have said something completely out of pocket. It's entirely possible. I'm with you, Pete. Brock Purdy is the real deal. And the celebration is all over the country. Hey, Tavares saying Vikings getting upset. I think it's possible. They may be a bit of pretenders. But hey, like I said, I do respect Justin Jefferson to the immensely. I respect him immensely. I don't care who we play, though, because the Niners are cooking right now. This team is on fire, and I look forward to next week, the divisional freaking game. If you are still watching, as Rick Diaz says, hello, faithful around the country, please do hit that like button. If you don't subscribe to this channel, why not? It's a phenomenal channel. Hit that subscribe button, hit the little bell notification, and join me the next time that I go live. I'm thrilled to be here celebrating with all of you. I think that those that are here in the channel regularly know how I feel, that it is this celebration with fellow faithful that I fucking live for. Going out and beating the Seahawks, claiming our next playoff game. 1 down, 3 more to go. Focus on next week. Let's find out who our opponent is. And I hope to be back here celebrating with all of you after the next one. Rick Diaz, how about those Niners? How about those Niners? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate all of you being here today. I appreciate the opportunity to celebrate a 49ers victory against the Seattle Seahawks, cleaning their clocks 41-23, blowing them out 25-7 in the second half. An unbelievable game. Unbelievable celebration. I agree with those in the chat. Great show. I will be on next week. You will be on next week. It was a phenomenal show. I'm thrilled to be here. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to go watch this game. Hit that like button on the way out. And until next time, you know the drill. Cheers, faithful.